This is Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination and Fortune Telling, the Magi Method. You can find the book worldwide on Amazon in both Kindle and paperback versions. You can find the full color card deck used here on Etsy/Magi Method. You can join us on Facebook. The question I want to ask today is, Joseph James D'Angelo, is he the Golden State Killer? He is 72 years old. He is a former policeman and a car mechanic. He is accused of being the Visalia ransacker, 1974 to 1975, the East Area rapist, 1976 to 1979, and the original Night Stalker. Richard Ramirez got that moniker eventually, but this man is the original Night Stalker from 1979 to 1986 in LA, allegedly. He is accused of 12 killings and 51 rapes that I'm aware of, and hundreds of burglaries. So, is this man, James D'Angelo, is he the Golden State Killer? Do they have the right man? And from 1986 until today, there seems to be it seems that this person may have stopped. So we don't know if there's more murders after 1986. That's a long time. Boy, that's a long time. So let's throw a Celtic cross. See what we get. Is James D'Angelo Golden State Killer? Wow. Interesting. Can we see that? Pretty darn good. Okay. So, is James D'Angelo, age 72, is he the Golden State Killer? 3 blackbirds crossed by Mother Earth. Okay, he was identified by DNA. Mother Earth is, there's a baby in there. That's DNA. So, apparently DNA links him to 8 murders in Goleta, Ventura, Dana Point, Irvine, and 50 known rapes in Sacramento, Contra Costa, Stanislaus County, San Joaquin, Alameda, Santa Clara, and Yolo. I lived in Santa Clara for a bit. Okay, so he was identified by DNA. This is a big problem, roadblock, karmic relationship, DNA, olive tree, family tree. Okay, so DNA, activity associated with DNA. So far, they've just got the DNA. Near future, earthquake. This is a disaster for him. This is a very bad ending. Very bad ending. He's like a Nazi who escaped from Germany, to Argentina or Ohio, since we're in America. He's in Ohio. He's 72 years old, and oh my goodness, they found him. This is a disaster. And apparently he was completely surprised when they came for him. This outcome row is impressively positive, disturbingly so. Angel, he's declaring his innocence. Okay, it's not me, man. I didn't do it. 4-leaf clover, people and events. He's going to fight. There's a lot to do. There's a lot to do between here and there. Ruler, It's in the hands of the court, the ruler. And woman, he's accused of, rapes and murders. So the outcome is women. Very interesting. So, are these raped women? Let's just ask that. What is this woman? Because woman can be a situation, or it can be, like actual women. As a situation, that's a good situation, a good turnout for him. He won't be found guilty. If it's an actual woman, then it's rape. So is this an actual woman, or is this, is this actually raped women, or is this a good circumstance? Let's throw some cards. Lovers, sex with women. Long-term pattern of sex with women and razor hurting them. Can you see that? You can see that. Okay, so these are raped women. That's interesting. 13, 4 hearts. So he raped these women in their home over a very long time period, and he killed a bunch of them. Okay, so the question I asked is this man, Joseph James DeAngelo, is he the Golden State Killer? What do we have here? A lot of DNA showing, okay? They tracked him through the DNA. Okay, and his DNA, and finally they got some discarded DNA and really nailed it down. So his DNA tracks, so this is really future crime stuff. This is a big problem for him. This is a disaster for him. He's proclaiming his innocence. There's a lot of work between here and there. It's in the court's hands. And he apparently raped it. It appears, so I asked, is he the Golden State Killer? And the outcome is a whole bunch of raped women and murdered women. Just a constant pattern of raping, sex, and murder of women over a very long period of time. Interesting. What an interesting throw here. You don't like to focus. Okay, let's... so it's not clear to me whether he will be found guilty, okay? It seems to me that he did it. I asked, did he do it? And it seems to me that he did it. It is not clear whether or not he will be found guilty. Will he be found guilty of these crimes? Boy, that's a big one. Will James DeAngelo be found guilty? Wow. Will James DeAngelo be found guilty? We have Star of Bethlehem, Fence Sitter, Magi, Diamond Ring. Diamond Ring is a union. This is direction. This long-term direction following the Star of Bethlehem. Maybe he can get away with it. So 12 and 13, 25, Star of Bethlehem. He may be able to get away with it. Even though it seems that he did it, he may be able to get away with it because at this point, the evidence is just circumstantial. Wow. You got to have more than circumstantial evidence. You're going to have more than circumstantial evidence. Were there more rapes and murders committed between 1986 and 2018, the dead period? Were there more rapes and murders committed between 86 and 2018 that they haven't discovered yet? Yes. Okay, so there are more rapes and murders that will be found. I mean, that's a pretty clear answer. We don't need to throw a lot more cards on that. So yes, there are more rapes and murders yet discovered. Is the wheelchair an act? Okay, is he just using the wheelchair to garner sympathy? Okay, because he keeps showing up in the court in a wheelchair, which is a ploy. It seems like a ploy. We don't know if he's disabled or not. Is the wheelchair an act? Maybe. Mercury is a deception card. Can you see that? Yes. Mercury is a deception card. Strength is a strong man. 24-25, direction. Planting the seed. Establishing a fact set. The man is planting this. He's establishing himself as a disabled person to garner sympathy. This is a deception. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, let's look at few more things. He wrote here's a bunch of his murders, and they are increasing in frequency. They start out at 1 month apart, then they go 2 weeks apart, then 1 month, then 4 days, then 1 week, then several hours between two events, then 3 weeks, then 1 month, then 1 month, then 1 week, then 2 weeks, then 1 week. Then 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 1 week. So as he went along, this is him as the East Area Rapist. As he went along, he raped more and more frequently in quicker and quicker succession. And there's one here where he raped 2 women in 1 day. 2:30 a.m. he was raping somebody, and then 11 p.m. the same evening he was raping somebody. The East Area Rapist wrote this poem to taunt the police. Excitement's crave. All those mortals surviving birth upon facing maturity take inventory of their worth to prevailing society. Choosing values becomes a task when self must seek satisfaction. The selected route will unmask character when plans take action. Accepting some work to perform at fixed pay, but promise for more, is a recognized social norm, as is decorum seeking lore. Achieving while others lifting should be cause for deserving fame. Leisure tempts excitement seeking, what's right and expected seems tame. Jesse James has been seen by all, and Son of Sam has an author. Others now feel temptation's call. Sacramento should make an offer. To make a movie of my life that will pay for my planned exile. Just now I'd like to add the wife or a mafia lord to my file. Your East Area Rapist and deserving pest. See you in the press or on TV. Like many of these really sick people, he wanted fame. So, and that's kind of the message that I'm hearing. Okay, so let's summarize it. Let's wrap it up. First, I asked, is this man, age 72, is he the Golden State Killer? This is an artist's rendering of, one of the rape victims, and maybe several of the rape victims. This is what they described him as looking like as when he was raping. So, this looks kind of confusing. It's a lot of cards. He's identified by DNA. DNA. This is a big problem for him, and it's a disaster at this time. But he's going to declare his innocence. They're going to work it really hard. They've really just got circumstantial evidence at this point. It's in the hands of the court, the king, and he raped lots of women. I asked what this female is. Is this a good situation for him? And maybe it should be looked at both ways. This may be a good outcome for him, for James D'Angelo as the rapist. I asked, is this literal women or is this a good outcome? Hamster wheel, lovers, straight razor. He raped a whole bunch of women over a very long period of time as a regular pattern. That's what this says. So these are rape victims. And I think, okay, so will he be found guilty? He has the ability, he's the Magi, he can manifest through reacting to all the circumstances a good result for himself. He may not be found guilty. I asked here, I was going to throw 3 cards, but 1 was enough. I said, were there any more rapes or murders between the dead period 1986 to 2018? Yes, there were more murders. He must have changed his mode of operation. And finally, I asked, is the wheelchair an act? Yes, deception. He's planting the seeds of deception to this man. James D'Angelo is planting the seeds of deception and establishing this base as for sympathy as a disabled person. So he may get off, but right now it's a disaster for him. Very interesting read. That's how I see it, folks. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination and Fortune Telling, the Magi Method. You can find the book worldwide on Amazon in both Kindle and paperback versions. You can find the full color card deck used here on Etsy/Magi Method. You can join us on Facebook.